Well, here we are. The Magic have finished their Mexico City adventure, losing to the Hawks 119 to 120. And I'm not gonna lie, this one hurt. It sucked a little bit. We lose another extremely winnable game today. I will say I'm shocked to even have that sentence come out of my mouth. Like from the looks of it early on, this game is easily gone out of hand very quickly. We continued to fight, we kept up with them, and going into the fourth quarter tonight, we did have at one point, I believe, an 11-point lead, and we fall apart again. Not the exact situation, but very similar to what happened last game versus Dallas, where we were up, I believe, 15 in the third. We end up losing that game. And yeah, it's tough. These losses do hurt, especially tonight because we lose by one, in a game that we pretty much had the lead in the entire fourth quarter. Tonight we do end up getting Markelle Fultz and Jonathan Eisen back. So as expected, the starting lineup does switch back into Markelle, Jalen, Paulo, Franz, and then Tagoga's still there. Wendell will be out, as we know, for probably the rest of this month. To open up the game, both us and the Hawks kind of were dealing with a little turnover battle here. Sloppy ball from us around. The Hawks did, I believe, end up having more turnovers than us going into halftime. So I'm going to give some credit to our defense, which I think our defense needs a lot of credit. I always preach our defense, but like it legitimately keeps us in games that we have no business being in. Tonight, for example, Trae Young goes into halftime with 33 points, and we are only somehow down 4. Now, our whole team buys into defense, but I got to give the majority of the credit tonight to obviously our best defender, Jalen Suggs, giving us a career high 6 steals and was just absolutely just swarming everywhere. But not only on the defensive end was he amazing tonight, on the offensive end, he also gave us, I think at halftime, he had a season high 19, but he finishes the game with 21 points, shooting what? 7 of 10 from the field and 4 of 5 from 3. Now, unfortunately, it did go to waste. We did end up losing the game, but Jalen with confidence, a lot of just no hesitation, catch and shoot threes, kind of showing, he's getting a little more comfortable out there. So hopefully this can kind of spark, a flow for him offensively. And we can hopefully see those shooting splits get up a little bit higher from what we've seen previously in the season. But yeah, Jalen Suggs, once again, another impressive, impactful performance that, unfortunately, unlike the Lakers game, has to come on a loss. I'm sorry I keep bringing up the loss, but, it's a gut punch for me. So, I probably won't be able to get out of my head until probably we go and beat the Bucks on Saturday. And then just another impact player that came in tonight was Anthony Black. At this point, like, he's just permanently in the rotation. I think we all can just agree on that now. But he's been absolutely just amazing, both defensively and surprisingly offensively. But tonight, the defense on Trae Young was very evident. Obviously, he scored a lot of points, but the possessions when he was guarding him, it was just, he did such a good job. Obviously, Trae did foul bait him a couple times. It's just how it's going to work. But even with him picking up some quick fouls, he does stay very aggressive. He really doesn't have to stress so much about fouling out since we have players that can easily come right back in and take the spot. And yeah, that 3 ball continues to be consistent, so we love to see that. Now, I'm going to keep pushing this agenda, but like, can we please just get Jett Howard some minutes? This spacing is horrendous. And somehow, like, we have Joe Ingles, who can't guard a fly, getting minutes. And then for some reason tonight, we saw like a random, like, minute and a half, 2 minute stretch from Chuma. Like last game, we saw Caleb come in and play some rotational minutes. And I was cool with that because, Caleb is the second year guy. He is just as good as a shooter. But like, today we see neither, and we see Chuma minutes. Like, I don't understand it. I hope his time is coming because I really think he could be impactful for this team. Just the fact that his main skill set is what this team has like a glaring like issue with. But as we learned previously, Anthony Black stayed ready and came in and is now providing. So hopefully Jett keeps his head up and, knows that his time will eventually come. And he can now see that, if he can come in and provide when needed, then the minutes will follow up after that. And in a nice surprise, we actually saw Jonathan Isaac not only both quarters of the game, but he actually closed the game. Like, in crunch time, he was out on the floor from like 3 minute mark all the way until the end. And in that span of minutes, even though we played kind of a positionless basketball with this lineup, but he was technically playing the 5. Now, obviously, when Wendell comes back, that will probably not happen, but it is very, cool to see him not only close games, but close games at, the center position, where he ended up being very impactful. He was very active on the glass, putbacks were there. The jump shot isn't fully back yet, but you can see it coming around, showing progress. He did even have an and 1 3-point play today. Unfortunately, he did miss the free throw for the 4-point play, which free throws, another big issue tonight. They got a lot of them and hit a lot of them, and we did okay getting to the line, but we missed like 10, 11 free throws tonight, which we lose the game by 1, and you miss 10 free throws. So you could obviously see how quick that can change. We did have some, dumb fouls tonight. I'm not going to go too much into the defending without fouling, especially versus this team where it's Trae Young. He got some very Trae Young calls, just throwing your head back and you get 2 free throws every time. There was a stretch in that second quarter where they were in the bonus and they were definitely manipulating in a way to take advantage of it. Now I will say the second half it was much better. We obviously held Trae from 33 in the first to, he finishes with 41, so we hold him to 8 points in the second half. I'm not gonna say anything, but Adam Silver was at the game, so maybe he didn't like the product he was seeing and made the call at halftime. I don't know, but it almost worked in our favor. And I don't mean to pound on too much of the negatives tonight, but we have to talk about Franz Wagner. Mr. Consistent hasn't been so, consistent recently, especially tonight. He only plays 28 minutes. He scores 12 points. Did good on the glass, which has been an issue for him. 7 rebounds, 3 assists. But he missed a little gimme floater at the end of the game. Now, not only would have put us up, but we ended up, coming down and getting a foul on the rebound, which then put them to the free throw line, giving them free 2 points. But that's not just it. All around tonight, it just, the confidence wasn't there. I think the body language wasn't very great. When he would miss shots or not get a call, he would, put his head down. And I understand you're frustrated, but I'm just not a fan of the body language. Now, he does stay aggressive, which at times we like to see, and at times so much, isn't what we need at that moment. Now, I'm never going to call for him, hold back or not take a shot that I think he's comfortable with, but some of these shots aren't, the shot that we should be taking at the time, or especially a lot of the times an extra pass could be made into a wide open player, but we can't get too down on him. Paolo started with his slump and he broke out of it. Now he's playing a lot better, and Franz not only is in year 3, so he has that extra year of just knowing that how good he is. We all know he'll be fine. Like I said, I'm not worried at all about him. It's just in games like this, it really does hurt, to be in that situation and not be able to come out with a win. But yeah, the Magic officially dropped back down to 500. Unfortunately, we do get a chance of redemption Saturday. Unfortunately, it is versus the Milwaukee Bucks, so we get yet another tough opponent. But for the most part, this team stands its ground and fights no matter who's in front of them. And hopefully these guys can return, get out of that altitude, which I definitely think played a part tonight. If you did not know, Mexico City has an altitude of 7,000. And to compare that, I'm pretty sure Denver has like 5,000. So a big jump. You can definitely see it on the court tonight. Players, huffing and puffing a little more than usual. So I'm sure the guys will be glad to get back to Orlando. And at this point, as much as the loss did stink, we just got to hope that, it fuels them and gets them, fired up to take on Milwaukee. A team that does have a lot of star power and firepower, but as we've seen this year, they are very beatable. Hopefully we could come out with energy and click early on. So, the offense could run smoothly to start the game for once. And hopefully we could take care of business and go back up above 500. To end it on a more positive note, I do want to give a shout out to everyone out there. Thank you guys for 200 subscribers. I mean, that came way faster than what I've ever imagined. This channel isn't that old, but since day one, you guys have shown support on everything I've done. So just thank you for that. I obviously love this team. So being able to make content about them and then get, the feedback from you guys and the response, it's all around just been a lot of fun, the interaction, the feedback. And with how great everything's been going, I will gladly, with a smile on my face, continue doing this for as long as I can. But that will wrap it up today. Glad we ended on a positive note. If you guys enjoyed the video, please feel to like and subscribe. Also, along with that, comment how you feel about the game. What was your reaction tonight? What are some reasonable ideas you guys personally have that you believe will help this team? I'm very curious to be on the lookout to see what you guys have to say about that, because there's a lot of ideas flowing around. But yeah, on that note, I'll catch you guys on the next one. And with that, I'm out. Peace.